What's up? We are out here today in Fairington in Nolensville, Tennessee at this Southern Land Development. We have a real treat for you today. We are going to walk through two of the decorated models, and then there's also another home for sale as well that's decorated too. So we're going to walk through that one and just give you a whole variety of just showing you what is available out here in this Southern Land community. If you're familiar with Southern Land, if you're familiar with West Haven, you know a little bit about this type of community. It is like no other, and this is just, there's a great opportunity to get into this neighborhood right now and really build some equity. So we're going to talk about some really exciting things. We are going to talk about the prices out here. We're also going to talk about something that they're doing out here in Fairington that they're not doing in West Haven. I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit. So they're doing something kind of special out here that you don't have the opportunity to do in West Haven. So stay tuned for that. But before we get into walking through these models, we are going to jump over to the map. I'm going to show you where it's located. We're going to talk a little bit more about the schools, where it's located, all of that. But first, let's also talk about the amenities too, because the amenities are one thing that make this neighborhood really, really special. And not only are you going to have amenities here, but you're also going to have some great commercial space too. And that's one thing that a lot of people ask. They want to be able to walk to a coffee shop, walk to a restaurant, get out in golf cart, go over to their friends' houses, and this is one of those neighborhoods that's built for that. This is literally what this neighborhood was built for. So you are going to have commercial space that's coming in about 2 to 3 years or so. And so you're going to have things like an organic grocery combined with a restaurant. It's going to be modeled after Urban Market, which if you're familiar with Urban Market, it's over in the Franklin Brentwood area. It's a favorite for people, and a little bit like Oh My Chives in Nolensville, which again, organic grocery and restaurant with great, great food. So it's going to be a little bit like that. So that is the first thing that's coming, but there's going to be a lot of other things coming as well. But one of the things coming is going to be those amenities. So in these amenities, you're going to have some great things. And one thing, you're going to have a full-time social director here. So their sole job is going to be to plan events for the community. So over in West Haven, they'll do things like Porch Fest and West Fest. Those are concerts that they do twice during the year. So they're going to do things like that out on their event lawn. They're also going to do things like wine tasting in that clubhouse. So they're building a full clubhouse, which is going to have like gathering rooms, and you're going to have events and things there, but they're also going to have things like an art studio and a full commercial kitchen. So they'll do things like cooking classes, art classes, things like that. So your social director will plan things like that as well. But then you're also obviously going to have a resort style pool out there that's going to have a great area for both kids and adults. You're going to have a restaurant or like a bar area for food and things like that that's going to serve out by the pool. So it will be very resort style out there. And that pool's going to have a slide. It's going to be fantastic. So this is going to be a great, great area. All of those amenities, as you can see right here, they're already graded out. They're under construction. It's going to be about 12 to 15 months until those are completed, and they will all be completed at one time. Okay, and so for all of you pickleball and tennis enthusiasts, there are going to be pickleball courts and tennis courts here as well. So there's going to be plenty of those. If you're into playing those sports, I know a lot of people love pickleball and tennis right now, so you will have that available to you here in this area as well. The other thing you're going to have up there is going to be a fitness center. So in that fitness center, there's going to be 3 different areas or so. There's going to be an area for classes. So it's going to be like a dance studio room where you can do like yoga, Pilates, aerobics classes, things like that. Then you're also going to have an aerobics area, and you're going to have a weight room area. So lots of room to work out. You don't have to go far to do that, which is super, super nice. You're also going to have an event lawn. You're going to have a playground. You're going to have a dog park. There's going to be so many things here. It's going to be great. And they're already doing some fun events here. So they've been doing First Fridays or Fairington Fridays where they're having, live music out here, food, things like that. And those have actually been great. People have been loving those. There's just going to be more and more of that as time goes on. And that, again, is one of the great things about being in this neighborhood, is just going to be all of the events, getting to know people. When people call me, if they say they think, they're like a West Haven or a Fairington person, if you are. Like if you want to get out and make friends, be social, have activities, things to do, this is the neighborhood for it, and it's just going to get better. So, and there's also going to be tons of walking trails throughout. So if you like walking, running, these are paved trails that are going to connect into other neighborhoods as well, take you all the way into downtown Nolensville, which is a whole nother video all in of itself. There's tons of new commercial, tons of new things coming into Nolensville, new Publix, new shops, new restaurants. Some of those already being completed and more about to start. So I'm going to do a full new updated video on Nolensville in the coming weeks. So make sure to subscribe, hit the bell for alerts, just to make sure that you're getting alerts so you can see these videos when they're coming out. If you're interested in Nolensville at all, make sure that you do that, because you're going to want to see this video. A lot has changed since my last video on Nolensville. So stay tuned for that. Nolensville is a fantastic place to live, so it's worth exploring if you're thinking about moving to the area. Also, I'm an agent in the area, so if you have questions at all about moving or relocating, don't hesitate to reach out, call, text, email, however you want to get in touch. Helping people just like you every single day relocate to the area, so happy to help in any way that I can. You can also book a time to talk directly with me on the Calendly link that is down in the description. You can do that too. So I've spent a lot of time talking about the amenities. Let's jump over to the map, and then we'll go through some of these models. We're going to talk about options. We're going to talk about prices. We're going to talk about all that here in just a second. So let's flip over to the map and do that. Okay, so flipping over to your map, Fairington is going to be located right here, as you can see. And then you've got your downtown Nolensville, which is going to be right here. So you can see it's actually pretty close to get into this downtown Nolensville area. It's actually going to be even easier. So I don't know if I mentioned when I was talking about the amenities, but there's going to be tons and tons of running and bike paths that go all in and throughout Fairington. And you can see this little river right here. So that's going to be this area right here that you can see on this video. So as we fly back here into this open space back here, there's a river back here, and there's going to be a running path and a paved trail that goes all in and throughout here. So you're going to have tons and tons of running paths and walking paths if you like to get out. These will go all in and throughout this Southern Land area, but then they're also going to connect in. So there's going to be a Beezer neighborhood that's going in right here in this area. So these paths are eventually going to connect into this neighborhood, and these will all connect into, there's a whole master plan bike path that's going in, but there are already paths that go all the way from this neighborhood all the way into downtown Nolensville. So you'll be able to connect into this greenway and path that, it's already existing through here, but then there's going to be more that continues to be built, and it's just going to continue to grow up over time. So if you want to be able to walk or bike or whatever into town, you're going to be able to do that. And then, so right here, you can see you're located by this downtown Nolensville area. So you've got this little historic area right here, but right here on the corner of Rocky Fork, already there is, some great restaurants and things right here. I mentioned Oh My Chives before. This is one of my favorite places. I love it so much. They have great sandwiches. There's a juice bar, coffee bar, all of that. You've got a Mexican restaurant. You've got a hibachi right here. You've got a lot of really great things. Itty Bitty Donuts has great coffee. So there's going to be a lot of things in here. You've got Mojo's Tacos. You've got Mill Creek Brewing, which is a great brewery. They have great beer here. Your farmer's market's going to be right down here. So that's every weekend, the Nolensville Farmer's Market. This is fantastic. You've got Martin's Barbecue, which is some of the best barbecue in Tennessee. Outlander's Chicken. This is really, really great. You've got Just Love Coffee. There's also a Waldo's Chicken and Beer over here too on the other side. More Mexican restaurants. You've just got a ton of things right here in this little small area. But what they're putting in right here on Rocky Fork, and this is just about complete, should open here in the next couple of weeks, is a brand new Publix. So this Publix is fantastic. It's going to make it so much easier, so much more convenient to get your groceries. Previously, you were driving, which still is not a big deal up here. So there's an Aldi's, which is going to be right up here in this area. And then you've got a Publix and a Kroger right up here on this corner. So you can see it's not far at all to get up to those. Those are in Brentwood. That's where those are. But they are putting this Publix right here on Rocky Fork. There's also going to be this Hand and Stone massage that's coming. They're opening a ton of things that are going to be in this shopping center. There's going to be a lot of really good things in here. They just opened a Jersey Mike's in here. There will be a First Watch for breakfast. There's going to be a lot of things in here. I'm going to get into that in another video. I think I mentioned I am doing a full video, updated video on Nolensville. It's definitely warranted at this time because there's a ton of new neighborhoods coming. It's actually, which is, kind of different. We haven't had tons of new build neighborhoods. It does seem like it compared to the size of Nolensville. Nolensville is very small. So normally we only have like one or two neighborhoods, going at once, if that. But right now, normally we only have a couple of neighborhoods being built at a time, but we do have several that are coming. And then so in addition to this Publix right here, they're actually putting a Kroger over here along with another what's supposed to be the town center. So there's going to be a ton more shopping, retail, grocery, and stuff over here too. And I did not mention the Nolensville feed mill, but this is actually a fantastic place to grab a sandwich too. They've got tons of organic things in here as well. They'll have Amish foods, organic foods and things in here. They have things like these pumpkin cinnamon rolls. So they're cinnamon rolls and they've got like a pumpkin cream cheese frosting. They're like amazing. So they've got things like that in there, which are really great. So I should mention that too. But just a lot coming in here. We're going to cover a lot more of that in some coming videos, but that just gives you a little bit of an idea. Also, schools. Just want to touch on schools really quick. So eventually, Fairington will have its own elementary school located right here. Land's already been donated for this school, but that's going to be, a few years down the road before that takes shape. In the meantime, you're going to be zoned for Nolensville Elementary, which is located right over here, and then Mill Creek Middle, which is going to be located right here, and then Nolensville High, which is going to be located right here. So you can see this is where your middle school and high school are going to be located. Your elementary school is going to be right here until it's relocated up here into the Fairington area. So that gives you an idea on that. But you've got a lot of other really great things close. Like if you want closer shopping, over here in Smyrna, there's actually tons of things. You've got Targets, Home Depots, all of that right here. You do have like an Ace Hardware in Nolensville, but if you want more, you want, Home Depot, Lowe's, Target, all of that. You've got it over here in Smyrna, but it's also really easy to get over into Franklin as well. You've got Brentwood right here. So you've got the Governor's Club. If you want to join a private golf course, this is going to be a great option for you. It's nice and close. But if you were to map from here over here into Cool Springs, it's going to take you about 25 to 30 minutes, depending on where you're going. And of course, at what time of day. But over here in this Cool Springs area, this is going to be where your Trader Joe's is, your Costco, Sam's Club, Target, mall, car dealerships, a lot of things. I mean, really everything going to be right here in this Cool Springs area right here. And then you've got your historic downtown Franklin going to be just a little bit further over here if you wanted to go over there and enjoy that. And then into downtown Nashville, it's going to take you about 30 minutes with no traffic at all. And again, that's just going to depend on time of day when you're driving. It's actually really quick, about 25 minutes to get over into the airport. But all of these things, again, I tell people all the time, it's my disclaimer, if you are driving somewhere and you have to commute on a daily basis, I would just pull it up and Google Map it during that time of day that you would be driving to give you a better idea of what traffic looks like during that time. Because depending on where you go, traffic can be worse. It's all relative, depending on where you're coming from, but definitely, check it out, get an idea of what traffic's looking like and see if this is, a viable option for you. For driving at the time of the day that you have to drive. So this is just going to give you kind of an idea, but you've got a lot of things that are going to be close enough to you right here. You have your own workout facility at Fairington, so you may not be needing that, but there's an Anytime Fitness that's in Nolensville. You've got a rec center that's got a pool, that's got, classes and workout facilities. You've also got, a couple of CrossFits. You've got bar studios, Pilates, yoga studios, all of those things. You've got a lot of that all right here in Nolensville. So, there shouldn't be anything that you're wanting that you won't have in Nolensville. I always used to say, Nolensville has no big box stores, but there now is more like grocery stores and things like that. So you are going to have definitely more variety of places to eat, places to shop and things like that than you had before. But, for things that aren't here in Nolensville, it's kind of nice to keep it, not huge. You can go to places like Franklin, Smyrna, wherever to do that shopping, but you've got plenty of all that you need right here in your Nolensville area. Okay, so hopefully that gives you an idea, of what's in and around the Fairington area, just to give you an idea, lay of the land, things like that. Let's go ahead, let's walk through a couple of these models. We're going to talk about the pricing. We're going to talk about, different options and things like that. So let's go ahead, let's flip over and let's walk through these together. Okay, and actually, just before we jump over there, let me just show you these because I want to give you a little bit of an idea before I jump into the interior of the exterior of these homes. That is one of the things that Southern Land does so very well, and that is just these amazing exteriors of these homes. I just want you to be able to kind of see this and understand what this is going to look like. Again, if you've seen West Haven, you've seen a neighborhood that is Southern Land, you're going to understand what these look like on the outside. But how pretty are these? They've got tons and tons of curb appeal. It's just very Americana in here. but you're gonna have 3 different home types in here. The main home type that you're gonna have are these that you're seeing right here. So these are going to be your bungalow homes. So they are gonna be, you know, on a little bit smaller lot. They're gonna have a side yard, a courtyard, and then you're gonna have a rear load garage on these homes. So you're not gonna have huge yards on these. Some of the corner lots, which are the most sought after lots a lot of times because, you know, you do get a little bit more space on that side yard, but people do such cute things with the courtyards on these homes. You can make these really, really adorable. But if you're wanting, you know, a huge yard, not going to be necessarily on this home if you're wanting more space than this. But then you will jump up to the manor homes. So the manor homes, they are going to have, they've already released several of these, but then you can see those are right here. So these are going to have a traditional backyard and a front load garage on these homes. So this is going to be a little bit more space, a little bit bigger homes, and you can get more of that traditional backyard in these homes. So these are fantastic. And then the last thing you're going to have, they are going to do some live work. There is going to be commercial in this neighborhood, so front doors facing out front, which is really, really cute. So this just gives you an idea of what some of the exteriors of these homes are going to look like. And you've got those 3 different home types. So let's go ahead. What we're going to tour today are going to be 3 of these bungalow style homes. There's none of the larger homes finished yet. But the one thing I wanted to tell you that's different about Fairington than West Haven is that in West Haven, if you've ever tried to build a home there, you know they only build spec homes out there. They only build market homes. You really can't change any of the finishes out there, which some people really, they don't like. You know, they're buying a new home. They want to be able to at least, you know, choose some of the backsplash, choose some of the colors, those sorts of things. Now here in Fairington, you're not going to be able to change any of the exteriors, the floor plans, and the lots have been chosen, you know, for that particular home. So you can't change the exteriors, but they are allowing some changes to the interior here. So that is the really cool thing. So, you know, they're allowing, and that's not on every home. So, but some of the new ones that are just getting started or haven't started yet, they are allowing you to make some selections or choose from some selection packages in order to customize that a little bit more. So if you're wanting a house like this, have looked at West Haven or out here, you might be able to customize some of these homes that have not been started or have just gotten started, just getting underway. So that's something really cool. So it's something you want to jump on though, and they won't do that forever probably. Once they really get rolling, probably fall more into that West Haven where you're not going to be able to choose anything. But if you're wanting to choose selections out here and you want to make customizations, get in early and be able to choose, you know, which house you want and be able to choose some of those selections. So let's go ahead and walk through some of these models. Okay, as we just talked about, just the exteriors of these homes are so pretty. So you've got this big, beautiful front porch on this particular model. You will find some great porches in this neighborhood. So, you know, it's very much a front porch living kind of community. You know, sit outside, meet your neighbors, be social. So a lot of great porches in this neighborhood. So this particular model, this is going to be the Emma Grace. You're going to have your coat closet, which is going to be right inside the front door. One of the things that does come standard in this neighborhood is going to be solid core doors. So, you know, a lot of people do ask about that. So solid core doors here, and you're just going to see a lot of really cool features in these homes. A lot of these are going to be spec homes, like I said, but a lot of the things that they do standard in here are going to be great. You can see they've got some nice built-ins here. In this particular model, you're going to have your dining room, which is going to be right in between your living and your kitchen. So it's going to be just completely open. But you can see you've got cased openings, you've got floor to ceiling cabinets, really pretty tile backsplash, and just everything really upgraded in here. So you've got Bosch appliances, you're going to have quartz countertops, soft close, of course, across everything. You can see you've got your built-in microwave and oven, and then they've done some really pretty black hardware. You've got your porcelain farmhouse sink, and then your stainless steel Bosch appliances, of course. But you'll notice, you know, different packages throughout the different houses, so there will be some different aesthetics, but a lot of things just come standard. Another thing that comes standard throughout is going to be your MDF shelving. So, you know, the carpenters trim out all of the pantries and the closets throughout the house. So you've got your laundry room here. You can see right off the kitchen, not to take away from that, but they will trim out all of the closets. You're not going to have wire shelving or anything like that. And you will see, you know, things like plantation shutters, not always, but sometimes. And then you've got your powder room in this, which is going to be tucked away back behind the kitchen, which is kind of nice. if you have guests over. And then this is gonna be kind of your entry area. So if you go out through this door, you're on your covered porch, and then beyond that is gonna be your garage, which you'll see in a little bit. But this is gonna be kind of your entryway. And there was room there if you wanted to put in like a drop zone, things like that. And then you go into your owner's bedroom right here, which is gonna be, you're gonna have windows that go out to that porch. And then you see you've got your closet, you've got tons of shelves, hanging space, and then your owner's bath here. So you're gonna have your freestanding tub, and then you're gonna have, you know, your quartz countertops. They've got really pretty black hardware here. And then you've got your frosted glass window for privacy. And then you've got your, you know, frameless shower. And you've got really pretty tile choice in here, handheld, your bench. They've done some really pretty things in here. So, and that is one thing that you will notice is that the designers just do a really nice job in these homes of making really great choices that I feel like almost everyone would like. So like we did say, you can maybe make some choices in some of the homes that are earlier on in the process. But if you're looking to move sooner, definitely they do a great job of picking out really great choices. All of these houses feel super upgraded, but you can see you have room here if you wanted to do like a little drop zone, hooks, built-in bench or something for coming in because your garage is going to be out here. So you've got this extra large patio, and then this is going to give you some idea of the size of the outdoor space as well. So this is going to be one of those corner lots. It's going to give you a little bit more space. So you can see you've got some yard over here, and then you're going to have a concrete patio, and then you've got more grass over here. So, you know, these side yards are going to be a little bit larger than the ones with just the courtyard in the middle. Might be a little bit smaller, but so it's kind of nice. I tried to take you in to show you the garage, but it was locked, so I was denied. So we'll go back in and we will head upstairs. But you can see more wainscoting on the walls. Lots of light in this model, which is really nice. And then, you know, just beautiful hardwoods. So a lot of really, you know, great flooring choices in these homes. And then as you come upstairs, it's really bright, open, airy. Again, you've got your hardwood floors up here. They've got their plantation shutters here. And then this particular model is going to have 2 bedrooms upstairs. They're each going to have their own ensuite bathroom. You've got your linen closet here. And then we'll go into this first bedroom here. They're both going to have really nice size walk-in closets, but really nice size bedrooms. So these are really generous bedrooms. And then you've got your quartz countertops, of course. They always do nice lighting packages. And then you're going to have your fully tiled shower. So you're not going to see any drop-in showers, anything like that here. Southern Land does a really good job of just upgrading everything. And you've got these extra deep tubs too, which I also really like. I hate a shallow bathtub, but really nice deep tubs here. And then you go into your other bedroom over here. Also, it's going to be a really nice sized bedroom. And then you've got your ensuite bath here. And you're going to have different tile choices and things in each just to make them a little bit different. And then if you get to be one of those people who make your own choices, you can, you know, choose what tile you like. But yeah, this is a really great, really smart floor plan. I'm going to show you just really quick the size of this walk-in closet just to give you an idea. So yeah, so you've got lots of room for storage and things. Storage can sometimes be an issue with no basements and things in Tennessee, but you know, there's at least plenty of linen closets, walk-in closets and things like that in this house, which make it nice. Okay, and then moving next door. So this is going to be a little bit different look. I really love this darker brick with the dark windows. I really think that is a very cool look. Again, you've got a really nice front porch here, and then you've got your wooden door. And then a little bit different layout here. So both really nice in different ways. So you've got your little entryway area where you could put your little table. Again, you've got really nice wood flooring in here, your gas fireplace. Again, lots of light in here, which is really nice. And then you're going to have your coat closet over here, which is nice and deep. You've got some room for some different, you know, storing and things in there. And then you could even do built-ins over there if you wanted on either side of the fireplace, or some nice tables or whatever. And then you've got your dining room off to the side. So some people like this better than the other. Some people like it more open, but if you like a little bit more of a delineated space, this is the Ashland plan. You're going to have a little bit more of that separation of your dining room off to the side, and then your living room just in the front there. But again, you're going to have your Bosch appliances. You're going to have pretty quartz countertops. Really nice range hood here as well. So just a lot of upgraded things. Again, soft close across. And, you know, you're going to find, you know, differences between these, like colors. You got a little bit different sink here. You've got your under mount sink. And then you've got your silver hardware. So, you know, between some of these, maybe you have something you love. You can kind of choose between those things. But again, they've done a lot of really nice woodwork on the wall. And then you've got your extra large pantry here, which is great. So for those of you who love a great big pantry, you've got one of those right there. And then back here, you're gonna have your powder room tucked in back here again. So, and then you will have a drop zone here. So they did go ahead and do this built in. You can put some hooks here, you know, backpacks, jackets, whatever you wanna do right here, because this is, again, where you're coming in from your garage. So you can see right here. And this is gonna give you an idea of one of these interior lots, what size these kind of courtyards are. So you've got a great big covered porch, and then you can see this is gonna be kind of your courtyard space. And you can actually do some amazing things back here. I've seen some beautiful, beautiful courtyards in West Haven. So you can do some really creative, really cool things out here. And then that's gonna go in. You've got your laundry room, which is gonna be right here. So you got a sink in here, which is great. Really pretty tile. That's like a green cabinet. That's translating well, but, and then you go back into your owner suite again. And then again, you've got your windows out to the porch. You've got some cool ceiling details here. You're gonna see some different ceilings throughout, some different trays or vaults, things like that. And then this particular bathroom is going to have no bathtub, but it's got the super shower. So if you like an extra large shower, some people don't want that bathtub, don't use it. So this could be a good option here. It's a great big shower, really pretty tile, quartz counters again. And then tankless water heaters, those do come standard here as well. If you were wondering about that, and then you can see just how they've trimmed out your closet here. And then we'll go back through. But really nice sized bedrooms throughout this house, which is nice. And you can switch those out for rocker switches if you want, if you prefer the rocker switches. So, you know, there's a few things that you can change. And then we'll just go on and head upstairs. Okay, and again, in this house, you're gonna have your hardwoods upstairs. Again, really bright and open up here. And you've got a great big space for entertaining, extra living room, workspace, playroom, whatever. And then this is actually the same layout as the other one. So there are other layouts on these two particular models though. They are gonna be the same. So you've got your linen closet here. And then again, you're gonna have 2 bedrooms with walk-in closets. And then you're going to have both ensuite baths here. So we'll just kind of see what some of the differences are between this one and the last one. So we'll start this time in this right bathroom. So kind of like that mirror. They've done a gray tile in here. And I kind of like how a lot of these shower heads can also be a handheld. It's really great for cleaning for those of you who have to be the one cleaning. You've got your bedroom here, and then across the hall, you've got this walk-in closet over there. And then we'll check out and see what they've done in this bathroom. But you can see, again, a really nice sized bedroom. So these are really nice sized bedrooms. And this one, you've got your lighter colors. This is pretty. And then a little bit different tile over here. So there are 4-bedroom plans, but we've got some 3 bedrooms for you to look at right here. Okay, and then talking about price as well. So the prices on these, so these are going to be your bungalow homes. So these are going to start probably around $875. So somewhere in that $875 range on the low side, which is a great price in the Nolensville area in Williamson County for a new build, especially with a builder like Southern Land. So if you're kind of looking to be in that price point, about $875 starting, can go up to about 1.5 for those larger manor homes. So kind of somewhere in that $900 to $1.5 million range. And then in this plan, we're going to have your coat closet off the front. This is the Abbey, so it's going to be a little bit different. So you've got a full guest bedroom off the front, so you can see full ensuite. And then you've got your bedroom here. Again, a really nice sized bedroom. And I do talk about this a lot if you've seen my videos, but a lot of people do ask for this. Like they want this guest bedroom on the main floor, whether it be for parents, for guests, for whoever. It's like, you know, especially having parents that come to visit when they move here, they don't want to be climbing up and down stairs. So it's really good to have this on the main floor. And a lot of people do like that. So again, this is going to be a 3-bedroom plan. But you'll really like this layout. But there are 4-bedroom plans. These are just the 3 that we went through today. But this is a great plan. You've got a really big kitchen in here. I feel like this feels really large. You've got your gas cooktop here. And then you've got your built-in ovens over there. Again, Bosch appliances. You've got your stainless steel undermount sink. And this one's priced at $992.6. So this one's actually for sale. The other 2 were just models. This one's for sale for $992. So gives you an idea of price point for one of these homes. And this is a really popular plan with a lot of people. So what you're going to have over here is your living room on the right and, you know, your dining room on the left, which is actually a really large dining room. You got your tray ceilings. And then that's going to lead out here to your porch. And that's going to be a really large porch there. And then you've got your laundry room here, which they've done some pretty tile. And then into your owner's bedroom. So this one, you're going to have more of a vaulted ceiling. Again, really nice size. They've done some pretty wainscoting in here, some pretty colors. You got your double doors going into your owner's bathroom. I really love this owner's bathroom a lot. I love this bathtub. I think this bathtub is so cool, but you've got separate sinks, which is also kind of nice. I kind of enjoy that. Kind of having that separate space. And then, but I really did like this bathtub a lot. I thought it was kind of fun. I really like that it's square and yeah. And then you've got your shower. So you've also got an extra large shower in this one too, with some really pretty tile and your handheld. And then you've of course got your bench. And then that's going to flow into your owner's closet as well. So you've got lots of room in this closet, lots of hanging space, shelves, all of that. So lots of room in this closet. And then again, you've got these really pretty hardwoods throughout. So really nice floor choices in their homes here. And then you've got this linen closet here. Like you don't know you're missing a linen closet. If you don't know, have you ever bought a home that didn't have one? I did. That was before I was in real estate, but it was not something I was thinking about and did not pay attention and bought a house that did not have a linen closet. And all of a sudden you're like just looking for anywhere to put your linens. Who knew that was even an issue until, you know, you bought a house and didn't have one. So now I know. Look for homes with linen closets. So, but this gives you just an idea of this downstairs. So a little bit different. The upstairs is going to be a little bit different too. So we'll take you up there. So up here, going to be a little bit different. You're just going to have 1 bedroom up here, but you do have this really cool porch. So you've got an upstairs porch. If you want to come up here, sit outside, drink your coffee, be kind of fun. If you're entertaining upstairs, you've got people here. You can hang out up here on the porch, have a drink, you know, watch the sunrise, sunset, which I don't know which way this faces. So, but yeah, it's a really cool place. And then you've got your bonus space up here. So you've got a really nice size bonus space if you want an extra living space, playroom, workspace, whatever you want to do up here. And it's all hardwood, which is nice. And then you've got another closet here. So more storage space here. And then you're going to have a bedroom with your full bath up here also. So if you want this for a guest or, you know, you have kids, whatever that want to be up here, it's a great, you know, really separate space, all of their own. And then you can see you've got your full bath here with your fully tiled shower, bath combo, your quartz counters. And again, just really nice neutral choices in here. So I feel like anybody would be happy with this. And then you've got your bedroom. So nice size bedroom in here with your hardwoods. Yeah, so this is a really nice space. Kind of a fun, different floor plan, but there's lots of great floor plans in here to choose from if you're wanting more space also. Okay, and then just to review and touch on those prices one more time to make sure that, you know, that was all very clear. So prices in here are going to be starting at around $875, gonna be for those bungalow homes. And then for those manor homes, which are gonna have those front load garages, gonna have the bigger backyard, gonna probably be starting right around 1.35 to 1.5, somewhere in there. So, you know, if you're wanting that, you know, larger lot with that traditional backyard and still be in a really cool neighborhood like this, you're kind of looking at that probably 1.4, 1.5 price range for one of those, just sort of in the beginning. Now there's also going to be some townhomes. Don't really have pricing on those yet. Those are coming really in the last phase, kind of back towards where some of that commercial is coming into play. So no pricing on those yet, but they will be 3-story with a garage and an elevator. So at some point, if you're thinking about townhouses, you know, a couple years down the road, this might be something worth considering. And I'm sure this video will still be out there somewhere cooking. So, you know, if you're seeing this in a couple of years, maybe there's townhouses here now. But that's kind of the pricing as of right now, as we're just opening up for sale in Fairington. So right around $875 up to about 1.5, kind of depending on what you're looking at. Okay. And so that is Fairington. As you can see, I mean, this is a great price point to get in on the ground floor here, build some equity. There's going to be a lot more opportunity going forward, but there's some great opportunity to buy right now as well. So if you're interested in this area or any other, if you have questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out. Like I said, call, text, email, however you want to get in touch. We can jump on a Zoom call, get all your questions answered. If this isn't the right place for you, we can definitely find you one that is. Happy to help you figure out where that's at. I do help tons of people relocate all the time. So I'm happy to help you do that as well. So again, don't forget to subscribe. If you haven't, please click that little button. Click the like button as well. That helps me out a lot. And if there's a video that you want to see, don't hesitate. Just drop it in the comments, shoot me a message. I can go try to get that recorded for you. Just trying to get out as much information as we can to get you what you need if you're thinking about moving to the area. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.